evening. Welcome to Better Together and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. So, we have a great show today. We're going to talk about building self-esteem, how mothers can help their kids build self-esteem. But we have a special guest with us today because I really wanted to just kind of have a chat. I have me, my daughter, and I wanted to have a third generation. So, because I don't have grandchildren, I was thinking, well, how can I do that? Well, I have my grandniece with us today. So Sky is coming to the stage right now, and she's going to chit chat with us today about self-esteem coming from a third generation.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Hello.
Hey, Sky, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Well, Sky, so tell us about yourself.
Okay, so I'm 13. I run track. I like to read. I write poems. Sometimes I like to listen to music. I write letters to people and others. And yeah,
Nice, 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 nice. So tell us what kind of poems you write.
I write poems about the economic and the society and how it is. And I write poems about my feelings and about people.
That's great.
Oh yeah. Also, I think Sky, don't you do something on social media
Oh
sometimes?
yeah. I spread the gospel on TikTok, and I talk more about scriptures, and I like to break it down for teenagers my age, and I like to help them understand as I also grow to understand also.
Look at you.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great. The kids definitely need that. I mean, even people my age need that. So that's great.
Yeah, it's nice to have the. I mean, it's nice to know that the youth are thinking similar to us because we're just trying to give back. We're trying to put out information that we know that people don't necessarily get all the time, and coming from real people instead of people that people don't know. So that's what we're trying to do. And so we brought you in today as basically like a Mother's Day tribute, just showing how the impact of mothers on their daughters. So what we're going to talk about today is how to build self-esteem. And I remember I told everybody that we're going to shout out Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, but you got to put it in the chat. See the instructions, put it in the chat, say who you want to say Happy Mother's Day to, from who. And we're going to do that at the second half of the show today, but we're going to start off with me saying Happy Mother's Day to my mother, Gloria Williams. Hey, mother, I love you. And then Sky wants to say,
Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Sarah Wilson, and I love you so much.
Yes, and then happy Mother's Day to my mother, Deneen, who is right next to me.
Right, whatever, Sarah. All right, so we started out that, but we'll get to you guys later. I see some people have already put it in the chat, and we will definitely shout that out. And as you guys know, it's being recorded, so you can just send. We'll probably try to do some little clips, some little shorts, and you'll be able to send out the Happy Mother's Day to your mother, so she can know that you guys thought about her while we were online today. So thank you guys for joining. So we're going to start off talking about, what you hear when you hear the word self-esteem. What does that mean to you personally? So we're going to start with Sky. Actually, what does self-esteem mean to you, Sky?
I feel like self-esteem seems like how you feel about yourself and how much confidence you have, or like how you feel about yourself, like mentally, physically, and all the above.
Nice. Okay. What about you, Sierra?
When I really think about self-esteem, it's about belief in your value as a person generally without really achieving anything, without doing anything extraordinary. It's just like, oh, I'm a human being who has value. I'm enough. I should be considered. I deserve respect. That's really when I think about self-esteem. That's what I go to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with that. I agree. I mean, because what I was going to say is that know that you're enough no matter what. And you said it right, Sierra. You don't have to accomplish anything. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be, and you are enough. And that should be enough for you to not allow people to turn you any other way. Don't allow people to say anything that's going to change that. Because I was talking to Sky earlier and I was saying, Sky, if somebody says, you're something, does that really change who you are when they say that? When we talking about that before, Sky was
Yeah.
telling me earlier about how people weren't very nice to her sometimes. You want to talk about that, Sky?
Yeah, like people like when I was like in my elementary, people were not nice to me, and to be honest, it didn't like it helped me boost my self esteem, but it also kind of brought me down. But I always like worked myself way back to where I need to be back in like fifth grade.
What I was telling Sky is I was saying, okay, so when you were growing up, I mean, what did you hear that helped you boost your self-esteem? What did you hear that made you feel like you were worthy, you were special?
They always said I was like beautiful. They always said I was like a diva. I was a little classy. I was a little sassy. But like they did say something like be quiet, can't be talking a lot. But I was like, okay, but I'm talk regardless. So yeah.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. People get paid big money to talk a lot. So keep talking.
Matter of fact, if you look like online and everything, all the people who were saying they talk too much, those are all the people who are really successful now. So
Yeah.
they're using that gift
Yeah.
that
I'm
God gave.
trying to talk. I'm trying to talk more. I was silent child. Like at school, people were like, "Oh, do you have anything to add?" Nope. So I'm trying to get to your level, Sky. I'm trying to get to
Yeah,
you.
but Sierra was a teacher's dream because she was not disruptive. I mean, literally, the teacher would say, "Oh, we love her so much, and she's so good." Blah blah blah. And I didn't realize at the time they liked her. They liked her so much because she wasn't disruptive, because she wasn't saying anything. And all I knew is she was getting good grades, but I assumed that she was interacting. But they liked that because that's one less person that they had to be
But
concerned about. But
but
yes,
that's
talking
why
is not a bad thing.
Well, Sky, I will say, like, when I was younger in middle school, I had these friends and they started being mean to me, saying things that were trying to bring me down. Right. And every time they did it, I didn't take it as being that serious because I was like, why are they saying that? That's not true. So at a certain point, I was just like, you know what? I don't need to be hanging out with those people. They're trying to say things that aren't accurate to what I know about myself. And that's having good self esteem. Like people tell you something, they're like, it's like if someone says, Sierra, you're short. Like, and that's just like a realistic example. And I'm like, that's not true. Like, I don't need to believe things that just patently are false. So I think that's
Mhm.
a good thing. Just walk away from those people.
Exactly. Well, and one of the things that I know from my generation, people didn't talk about self-esteem or confidence. They didn't do any of those things. But now I know for me, I wanted to make sure that my daughter heard a lot of the things that I wish I had heard. So what are some of the things, Sierra, that you heard that helped boost your self-esteem?
I think the main thing is like what I mentioned earlier was being able to like trust in things that what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking, or not being forced to do things that I'm like make me feel bad or uncomfortable. Like I wasn't like, oh, I don't want to be hang out with those people, and you were like, no, you go hang out with those people. It doesn't matter what you feel. You know what I mean? It's just like
Mhm.
trusting in your opinions and your thoughts, they're real, and things like that like really boosts your self-esteem.
Yeah, and I learned a lot from Sierra about that because I was raised that when somebody asked you to go out, you just had to say yes, or and if you said no, you wouldn't tell them the truth. You would just say something, like you had an excuse or something like that. Which when I look back on that, that wasn't correct, because basically when you start doing that, you're encouraging the kids to lie.
Yes.
I mean, even that's like, I mean, even if like we talked about this last week when we were talking about self-esteem a little bit last week, that when you do that, you are showing your kids that it's okay to not be truthful. And we don't
Hmm.
want to do that. But what about you? What about you, Sky? What are some of the things that help boost your self-esteem? And who has helped boost your self-esteem? Who's
Yes.
like your role model for that?
My mother is, cause she the stuff that she goes through and stuff that she has went through, she always walks in the room with her head held high, and I love that about her. Like no matter no matter what she's going through, no matter the circumstances, she always walks in the room knowing like she got the confidence, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
love
great.
that because that's great, right, Sierra?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like
I,
that. I like
I think
that.
you do a similar, I mean, I appreciate the similar thing about you. Like, you would never know if you had a bad day, if someone said something rude to you. When people say something rude to you, you're like smiling back at them, which probably makes them more angry, honestly. But yeah, you're hard to to clock. They're not gonna see you stumbling. Even though you are a human being and you have emotions and whatnot, like people can't like you're not very shakeable.
I
Which
love that. Look at you. Thank you for that. Yeah, my grandmother I got that from my grandmother. My grandmother would say, hold your head up. Always keep your head up. Always walk, walk like, don't put your shoulders down, things like that. She really talked to me a lot about posture and things like that. And so that's where I got mine from. So it's just, that was one of the generational patterns that was a good thing for us
yeah,
because seemingly we all have that, all three
yeah.
generations, right? So that's nice. I
You
like
always
that.
told you always told me it's like Sierra, sit up straight, put your shoulders back, and now people applaud my posture now. So it works.
That's good stuff. It is really good stuff. But you know what? What I wanted to ask, I want to talk about like, the childhood messages and stuff. What is one message that you received about yourself as a child that shaped your confidence? And you just said it. Telling you positive things, right? About yourself.
Hmm.
Anything else? Do you feel seen or heard when you were growing up? Did you feel that?
Yeah, I definitely felt seen and heard. I don't know if I was necessarily ever afraid to say how I was feeling, or like I said, if I didn't want to do something. I mean, for better or worse, that's something I've had to navigate where it's just like, oh, I don't want to do that. But in adulthood, a lot of times you have to do things you really don't want to do. So there is a
Mhm.
fine line, but I do think it's good to be able to be like, okay, I understand what I want to do, what I don't want to do, and be able to make like clear decisions based upon that understanding, opposed to being like, I don't know what I want. If someone's not
Mhm.
telling me what to do, I don't do anything. So I think that's definitely something.
Right, right, right. She said, Miss Marilyn State, welcome to the show. I love that. Good girl. I think you are mine. Good. So Sky, so tell us about, did you feel seen or heard as you've been, I mean, you're 13 years old. And I think that the reason why I brought you on is because we talked about self-esteem last week, and we talked about how important it is for us to build self-esteem in our children at a very young age. So at 13, you're pretty much set on how you feel about yourself. And so that was one of the reasons why I brought you on. So I just wanted to know how you um have you felt like you felt seen or heard as you've been growing up?
I have felt heard. Some moments I haven't. Some moments I haven't, like for certain situations, but I've always got my point across when I needed it, and they always heard me and tried to, better themselves during the situation.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. And you have a lot of siblings. So that dynamic is different. There's more it takes more to fight through probably the noise of several different opinions of all the children, whereas I only have like one other sibling and we have a very large age gap. So there wasn't really a lot of negotiating. There's not a lot of like him saying this, I'm saying this at the same time, so I could see how it would be a little more difficult.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true. That is true. I hadn't really thought about that. Although, I mean, Sky, you're not the oldest, but based on the gap from your brother,
Yeah.
you're the oldest of the next group, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And how do you feel about that? How does it feel to be like the oldest of the other group?
To be honest, it's not. It doesn't like. It doesn't feel hard, but like I just want to set an example for them. I want them to
Hmm.
know like I'm here for them. I'm never gonna go away from y'all. I'm always gonna be here for y'all. Y'all need me, I'm right here, one call away. I'm like one step away. So I don't ever want them to feel like, oh, their older sister left them. Oh, their older sibling like not by their side. You feel me? So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically, we all of us are kind of the oldest daughter, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so there is definitely a through line there. And I feel like some of the traits that are like common with older siblings are like being like aggressively independent, might be the go-getter because there wasn't necessarily someone above us, giving us the path or telling
Mm-hmm.
us what to do. Um, Also, high achieving. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just, I don't know, maybe the oldest sibling's the best. Some say so.
Oldest daughter's the best. That's
Yeah,
right.
some
That's
say
funny.
that.
That's funny, Sierra, because I hadn't really put that together though. But Sky is the oldest daughter. I
Mhm.
am the oldest daughter.
So
You
much.
are the oldest daughter. So I hadn't really put those three together. Look at God. God did that. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, so no wonder we have a lot of the similar characteristics.
Mhm.
We all come from the same cloth, as well as the genetic part as well. So that's kind of
But
nice.
yeah, like, because I definitely agree where it's just like when you're the oldest, you want to make sure your siblings are like, you're not leaving them behind. You're there for them when they need. There's kind of this motherly role. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like my brother's my son sometimes. And yeah, mommy, I know you're the oldest of several siblings as well. So did
Mm-hmm.
you feel those same things?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of like they kind of look to me as like, motherly. They do. They kind of, they honor me like as a motherly, but they also know that I don't play. I don't play as a sister. I really do. I mean, I'm very protect my mom kind of thing, and I'm also protect my family too. I'm my brothers and sisters. They know that I have like high expectations of them,
Yeah,
and so they don't want to fail me. And that's kind of what Sky was saying. She says she
for sure.
wants, she wants to make sure that they're there for her. But I think a question that I have for Sky is, do you feel like obligated to do well because you have these sisters and brothers? I mean, are you trying to set a good example for them because of it, so you feel a certain kind of, I guess, responsibility to your siblings?
Um, yeah, it's kind of that, but I also feel like I'm held to a standard that I try to look up to or I try to be, but sometimes I can't succeed in, and that's okay because everybody
Mhm.
seems. But I just want them. I just want to set an example for them so they know like y'all don't gotta follow in my exact footsteps, but y'all can always ask me for help because I'm always there. You know.
Oh, what a good sister,
100%.
right?
What a sweetheart.
I like that. That's nice. Okay, so let me see what else we got to talk about. Let's talk about let's talk about as a mother in daughter lands. As a mother, what did you I'm saying, what did I hope for my daughter? That's what I said. What did your mother, I'm talking to you, Sky. Did your mother ever tell you what she wanted you to, what she was thinking that you were going to be doing in the future? Has your mom given you her dreams for you?
Um, my mom, she thinks like she feels like I'm gonna like be a preacher or something. Like I could be like something. She said she feels like I'm something special. She always told me that when I was younger. Like she's like, Sky, you're different. You're one of the different ones. And she said you gotta you gotta do what you gotta do. You can't be slacking. Don't be following people. Be a leader. You know,
Mhm.
do different things. Be different. So.
Nice.
That's great.
Okay. Go ahead, Sarah. Applause. Applause for the mother. For the young mother. I call her a young mother, so that's good. What about you, Sierra?
Um,
Did your mom give you expectations, and did the expectations line up with what you thought you wanted to do? How talk about that?
they did not line up with what I thought I wanted, what I was gonna do.
What did
Um,
your mom want
you,
you what did
you,
your mom put out there?
you wanted me to be a lawyer badly. I will say, because I remember for Halloween one year, I dressed up as a lawyer, which is which is
Oh,
funny because are lawyers scary? Kinda. So there is something horrific about them. So yeah, you definitely wanted me to be a lawyer, but that I didn't really, and it could be, it was like maybe because I was a little argumentative. Maybe you just wanted to channel that energy. But I didn't see that for myself. Um, But also, I feel like, I mean, there's still time.
That's true. That's
But,
true.
yeah. So
dream deferred is not a dream denied.
you wanted me to be a lawyer, but really what that was about was just trying to find a career that really like suited me, that I could, get some income from, that was stable. That's really what you're trying to get me to use my intelligence in a way that was productive. That's really what it was about. It wasn't, I don't think it truly was, oh, be lawyer. It was
right.
Be productive.
It was really, yeah, you're right. You're right about that, because I think that, I mean, obviously I was trying to live vicariously through you because I always wanted to do that myself, which I mean, there's still time for that too. But at the same time, really my heart was for you to be successful and for you to do what you were going to be the best at. And I think that that's a good trait. That's a good action for a mother to a daughter when you're trying to raise a daughter. And so we're talking about building up self-esteem, and all the things that we've been talking about, for the last 15 minutes has been things that you can do, or showing you examples of what you can do to help build self-esteem, specifically with your daughters today. So that's good stuff. So did you feel like by me giving you that dream per se, did you feel like that helped your self-esteem, or kind of,
that's a good question. I don't think it impacted it, but it's something like Sky said earlier. It's like the high expectation. I always knew that, there was a very high expectation, and it can be difficult when you're younger trying to live up to this expectation of, oh, you're gonna be like vice president, you're gonna reinvent the wheel, and this, that, and the third. So there's definitely, I don't know if it hit my self-esteem, but there were times where I was like, oh man, I could never live up to this expectation. But the older you get, you realize that success looks different to everyone, and everyone's road is different, and you'll end up where you're supposed to be, and you'll end up, success doesn't necessarily need to be that exact thing. And now that I've gotten to that point, I'm like, I feel pretty at ease about it. But it definitely can be what's it called? A little frustrating, because you're like, oh man, I can never be this big bad person or live up to that. But you definitely get there.
I think as a mother, though, I think if there's anything I could tell a mother, that if anything that I would do differently is, as opposed to really putting, my dreams out there, I would just continue to remind my children that we want them to be the best them that they can be, right? And just keep, but I mean, when kids are younger, they don't really know. And so as opposed to just giving them nothing, a plain whiteboard, I think that it helps to give them some kind of vision of where they can go. And when you give them a vision of things that are, up here, you just remind them that is not what you have to do. That is something that you can do. And I think that when you raise the bar, it helps them to look up, as opposed to thinking that it's okay to be down. And so Sky, what are you thinking about, regarding your future? Do you feel like you have enough things around you that's helping you to do, to start thinking about that?
I feel like I do have inspiration, like my grandmother. Like, I'm pretty sure, I forgot what she do, but I know she did something in nursing. But and I feel like I would like to do that. But as far as really knowing, I really do not know, for real.
Well, one of the things I think we were talking about this last week, or maybe another week or whatever. We were talking about spiritual gifts, and we're talking about, the different gifts that, God has given us. And the way that you look into your gifts is you look at the things that you love, the things that excite you, all those things. And you were talking about, you write poems, right? And writing. And so those are some of the things that, you can kind of lean into that will help you to kind of figure out, what you're good at or what you like to do. Right.
Yeah. Make a blog, post the poems, see how people interact with them. So I think that's definitely a good idea, is just to lean in whatever naturally gifted at, and see where it takes you.
Yeah, what you like to do. Now, how about now? This is for both of you guys. I guess I can start with Sky. Do you have times where you have felt misunderstood?
Yes.
And so, what was that like? And what did you do to navigate past that?
It wasn't the best feeling because it's like sometimes it's like it's hard for me to get my point across because then I end up going like crazy or I feel flustered and
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of things. And then I try to sometimes I would like go take a breather, go outside, look up at the sky, and calm myself down and then come back and add and have a civilized conversation, you know?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
when you're feeling misunderstood, it's like, oh, you're just like trying to get your point across, and people aren't like, you feel like people aren't hearing you, or not understanding. Yeah, I definitely get that, because
Yeah,
like I feel misunderstood often, and I think it's more so I feel like a lot of people they project ideas onto you versus actually hearing what you're saying. You know what I
hmm
mean?
hmm
So a lot of times I feel like people think I'm being more aggressive about something, or I'm trying to be shady, or they don't get that I'm joking, or they think it's so that's what happens to me often.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind our viewers to put in the chat Happy Mother's Day to your mother. Make sure you put her name in and make sure you put it from her, because we're going to do Mother's Day shout outs in probably about 5 minutes, and send out this link to all your friends and family and let them know that they can shout out their mother Happy Mother's Day. So we can do that tonight. That'd be great. I'm excited about it because it really is going to be like a keepsake for you to, for when I say it, you'll be able to go back and say, see, I said I say Happy Mother's Day to you on this audio and visual thing. So I just think it would be nice just to honor, your mother, let her know that you thought about her on this particular forum. So don't forget to do that. So I just wanted to remind you guys out there, and you can just share the link. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. So so Sky, I'm gonna go right on to you to this one because I thought that this is great. What pressures do young people face today that the older generation don't face regarding social media?
I feel like it's like we have a standard that we should be looked up to, like a beauty standard. And I feel like people try to like stereotype that, and I feel like it really hurts our generation to even see that because then they think they're not enough. They try to cover up, and then they lose their identity while doing that, and it just hurts us a lot.
Right. So do you feel like it hurts your self-esteem?
Yes, I did.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think, Sierra?
Yeah, I think 100%. I mean, it probably impacts my age group a little less just because we didn't necessarily grow up with social media as it is today. I mean, Instagram, I didn't start getting into Instagram until I was in college. And even then it was like a very like early version where it was just like photos of people's food and your outfit and your friends. So it's definitely different. There's 100% the comparison issue. People are just showing the best version of themselves. A lot of stuff is fake. People are acting like, oh, you should have like 40 streams of income already. You should be on a private jet. You should have 40 trips planned. You should be engaged 4 times, and you should have $1 million and $100 million in your bank account. So there's just a lot of, and then like aesthetics, like she said, the beauty standard, it's elevated so aggressively, where it used to be like the beauty standard was based upon the people around you
Right,
or
right,
people you saw in a movie.
right.
And then when we saw people in the movie, we kind of understood that that's like a far off, like no one really is like that type thing. Whereas or you'd be like, oh, okay, there's like the pretty girl in your town, or like, okay, what's cool is wearing these jeans because everybody at my school wears these jeans. And that is all like stuff that you can actually like attain and do, versus you being like Sky's age and seeing a rich girl from Singapore with a Cartier love bracelet, and you're like, what? You're like, what's going on? Where it's like, one, you don't even know if that's their bracelet.
Right.
The girl could be AI.
Mhm.
So all these things are just so unattainable and could not
Mhm.
even be real, but you're constantly bombarded with these images.
Right.
And
Right.
people are always trying to live up to that, and you never do. And even the people who do, also, it's like they don't even, a lot of them don't even feel good. They could have low self-esteem. They still hate themselves. They have things, but they still hate themselves. It's like it's just a never-ending cycle, and it's not obtainable for anyone.
No, absolutely. And I think the most important thing when we talk about self-esteem is to make sure you have people around you who are genuine, authentic,
Mhm.
and truly care about who you are. If people around you are not lifting you up and loving on you, you probably need to disconnect from those folks, right?
Yeah.
And I say that to Sky specifically because you're gonna run into people in your social groups, and they're not always going to have your best interests at heart, and so they're going to try to tear you down. But you just know that if they are saying anything that's negative or contrary to how you feel about yourself, those are not people that you want to stay connected to.
And people online, because people say a lot of negative stuff online. People you barely know, people you will never know or never meet. So you just got to make sure you don't take any of that as real. And honestly, don't overtake the positive feedback or the negative feedback as real. Just know
That's
like
right.
how you feel about it. Because you live or die by the applause, as they say.
Yeah.
So and the big thing for, I think, people who are even my age or all of us is to just get offline as much as we can and really focus on the people next to us and the real relationships that are around us, because that's what truly matters.
Exactly. Real connections,
Mhm.
real communication, because
Yes.
communication gets so lost in social media, even in text communication gets lost.
Yes.
So we should really try to establish some real relationships through communication, and just exactly what Better Together is all about. It's about communication, connection, and collaboration. And the way
Mhm.
that you do that is by positioning yourself so that you can do that. So anyway,
Mhm.
just wanted to say that though. Now here's something. What's one belief you had to unlearn? Like, what is something that you believed about yourself or whatever that you said, you know what, that's not good for me? What
Mhm.
about you? What about you, Sierra?
I think what I had to think about was probably separating like how I feel about myself from like accomplishments. And like we said before, it's like confidence is your ability to do tasks, and self-esteem is your self-worth. So
Mm-hmm.
once you separate those two, it's easier to have high self-esteem, because we're always going to fail at things. We're always not going to do as well as we expected, because like we said, we have like our expectations of our ability is like we're all Albert Einstein, and anything below that is like a fail. So
Mm-hmm.
is I separate those two things and being clear, be like, okay, that thing that I did has no impact on how I feel about myself as a human being. I think that's something I've
Yeah,
learned.
I think that's good. I think that is key. What do you think, Sky? Is there anything that you had to unlearn, or something that you were doing before and you decided to change up?
I feel like I had to unlearn that people opinions don't really matter. Like, you gotta understand what you like. If you like how you look, you like how you look. If you don't like how you look, change that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not set on other people's opinions. Always go with what you think. Don't go with what other people think, because usually what other people think is not your best interest in the first place.
Right. Trust yourself. That's what I always tell it. I tell it to my girlfriends. I tell it to my children. Trust yourself, because you know yourself better than anything, that better than anybody else. How is somebody going to tell you something that they don't even know they only know what you told them. They don't know who you are, right? So yeah, trust yourself. I think that's a major point that we always want to talk about. Just continue to trust yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing. The other question that I had was, what was a defining moment in your life that your confidence was shaken? Like, what was a time in your life
Mm.
you were feeling down, you're feeling bad about yourself? Did you have a time where you weren't feeling it? I mean, this is a time to be vulnerable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
My
I
least
mean, because
favorite
it's
time.
not necessarily about failures as much as it's just about maybe even just disappointments, maybe even unrealistic expectations, things
Yeah.
like that. I think that, that's part of what that can be, that, just kind of shakes your confidence a little bit.
I
Mhm.
think that I think during big transitions in life is where this is very likely to happen. I could think about graduating college and undergraduate and feeling so uncertain and so unclear about what the future is going to hold because you work to this final accomplishment and then you're like, "Oh, wait, okay, that's you did that. What are you going to do with it?" And then that's a very, I think, difficult stage if you don't prepare
Mhm.
for it well or you don't consider it. Like we said, I'm the first daughter. I didn't have someone in front of me saying, okay, do this, and this. And then you see with Grant, when he graduated, he had things a little more like he was
Lined
doing
up.
the internships and this, that, and the
Mhm.
third. So he was a little more ahead, thankfully. So I
Mhm.
think that was a moment where I was definitely my confidence was shaken, but it all worked out in the long term. I got
Mhm.
where I needed to be. The
Needed to
steps were
be
already ordered, but I just couldn't see it, which I think
right.
shakes your confidence.
What about you, Sky?
I feel like during like people people used to make fun of me back in elementary school, and I feel like that kind of shook my confidence. But as I got older, I understood that it didn't really matter for real,
Mhm.
and I started learning myself better. I started learning what I like. I started learning things I like to do, and I felt like also like as I started going outside and being more active, it made me feel better about myself.
Oh,
So
that's great.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's really good, Sky. You say that again. So it's the thing that changed you, that changed your perspective about, what people were saying to you was when you did what?
And I went outside and I started actually getting more active. Like I that was a great time. It was a great time.
That's
I love
that's well
that.
said. 100%. Like working out, getting in your body, it definitely positively impacts your self-esteem because I've been going to the gym for like a year and my mental health is so much better than it was. And I was actively anti fitness my entire life. You could not force me to do anything.
Right.
So yeah, you're 100% right. That's definitely a good way.
That is true. That is good, Sky. And yeah, so what's interesting about Sierra though, she was anti-fitness regarding exercise, but she decided that she was going to eat right. So she's been doing the eating part for as long as I can remember now, while I was in the gym working my tail off 100,000 times while she was just eating right. And you can
But
see what she looks like.
well, yeah, it was just my vanity operating. My vanity was what I cared about. I wasn't concerned about my mental health, which was very important. And I'm glad I'm tackling that.
Yeah, I think we need to note that exercise really does help your mental health. I mean, Sky says it at her age, Sierra says it at her age, and I definitely believe that at my age. So
Hmm.
if you're not being active, I think that that's what you need to look. Even if
Give
you
it a
just
try.
take, 10-minute walks, go to the gym if you can. Not to mention that the gym is another social outlet, whatever, but make sure that you are moving your body on a regular. You need to
Hmm.
come up with something that you can do on a regular. People say, well, what should I do? How should I start? Start wherever you can and wherever you're willing to do.
Hmm.
Don't do what I do. Do what you're willing to be consistent at. So yeah, I
Yes.
think that's all. Okay, so okay. Well, we're doing okay. So we're getting down to the end because I do want to get those shout outs in there. I'm not sure how many we have right now, but let me look and see if we have a few people. We have a few people that said that, so we'll see. So I guess the question is, what do you want the next generation to know or believe about themselves? What would you tell them? Sierra, you want to do that?
Yeah, I think specifically for like young girls, I mean that's where my concern is. It's just like you really need to make sure you like believe in yourself. Don't let people like don't do anything you don't want to do. Believe in what your body is telling you, what your brain is telling you. Because that gets people in a lot of trouble. I know with relationships, it gets women in trouble at work. Like you just really have to be self belief and make sure you know you deserve respect. And
Mhm.
if you feel disrespected, you don't have to deal with it. You don't need to sit around and be like, oh well, what if you don't need to think anything. If someone disrespects you, you need to move on. You don't need to be around people who treat you that way.
And you don't have to prove anything to anyone. No one.
Mm-hmm.
None. You don't have to, and that's where, like people say, well, I'm not going to argue. No, you don't have to argue because you don't have to prove anything. There's no
Yeah.
argument when you don't have to do that. So, Sky,
Mm-hmm.
what are you thinking? What would you like to tell? What do you want to tell your younger siblings about, self-esteem?
I would tell them, don't listen to nobody. Do what you know is right. You know right
Mm-hmm.
from wrong. So choose the right thing. I feel like nobody should be worried about no boys. The boys ain't nothing to be worried about. They always gonna be.
Exactly.
I feel like that education is a big part of life, and I feel like they should take advantage of that while they still can, and just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, have fun. And if you're not having fun, then what can you do, Sky?
Figure out things to have fun. Find a
Do, some,
hobby.
do something different, right?
Yeah. Do something different. Yeah.
If things are not going the way that you want them to go, then you can change it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So do something
Mhm.
different. That is
Mhm.
what it is.
I think we said this. I mean, I think we feel like we said it over and over again. I think that, you know, you need to believe in yourself. You don't let anybody tell you just anything, right?
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, obviously it's easier said than done because as young girls, we want to be accepted, right? And so, but we also have to make sure that, okay, if you're not getting it at home, let's say you're not getting it at home, let's say your parents are not making you feel like that. Then there's other places. I mean, you might get it at school, you might get it at church. So you need to make sure that you are, letting your family know. Go to grandma's, get it from
Mm-hmm.
grandma, get it from your older siblings. There's places where you can get what you need as far as reminding you of who you are. I would say, matter of fact, when Sky was just talking about it, I would say the easiest place to get the boost for your self-esteem is through the word of God,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
The promises of God will boost your self-esteem like nobody else can because, people will let you down, right?
Yes. Um,
So, what?
Something I think about is like building community and what the adults, mentors in children's lives have a responsibility to do. And if you encounter like children who may not be getting that at home, whatever time you have with them, it's a good opportunity to try to like, build their self-esteem, say positive things, let them know they have someone they can reach out to. Especially if you know they're not getting it at home or you sense something is not the most stable. I think that's a good opportunity to like, really benefit your community.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and just and I wanted to say that we need to make sure that when we're interacting with young people, that we take it seriously.
Yes.
We need to take it seriously, and we need to seize the opportunity to pour into them in a positive way. No,
Mm-hmm.
no joking around, saying negative things to them. That is counterproductive. So we
Yes.
should we should get off of that. I mean, I hear a
Mm-hmm.
lot of older people saying, "I'm just joking," or they know what I mean. No, they don't know what you mean. They're receiving it exactly what it is. So I think that we need to make sure that when we are interacting with young people, that we take that as an opportunity to uplift them. So
Mm-hmm.
another thing that I wanted to say was, Sky, tell me one thing you love about yourself.
I love my smile. I love my smile down. Like I think my smile is so precious.
That's
Funny.
cute. I love that. What
Yeah.
about you, Sierra? Tell me something you love about yourself.
I love my sense of humor. I love my wit. I really just think that's something I lead with in daily interactions, and it's helped me get through so many situations. Like
Well,
that's
yeah, I think that
my favorite.
I think that's good too. I think it, helps you get through so many situations. The same thing with Scott. You use that smile to get you in, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure you want to soften people up and let them know that you're open, right? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's good. I think for me, I mean, one of the things that I love about myself is that I feel like I'm authentic. I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
very consistent about who I am. I don't, I'm not like willy-nilly. You know what you're gonna get from me. And you might not like it. You know, but you know what it's going to be. So I think that's one thing.
Yeah, I
And
like what I like about you is you're very like upbeat. Like you don't do coffee, no caffeine, but you're always trying to be positive and you're always very high energy. Because I'm a little more black cat, I'm a little more low vibrational, and you're always coming in like you're coming in up here. And I appreciate that. I need that. I need that.
right. Okay, Scott, did you have anything else to say about that?
Um, no, not
Anything
really.
else? Anything else you like about yourself? Come on. So high
Oh, yeah.
self-esteem. Talk about it.
Oh yeah, I love my personality. I think I am a joke. Like I think I am a goofy, funny person that people
Hmm.
should have to be around. Like I'm very positive. I love compliments. I love giving people compliments. Like I
That's
love
great.
trying to make people day. You know.
Hmm.
Mhm. No, that's nice. Exactly. And
Hmm.
what do people say about you? What do people say about Sierra? What do people say about Sky?
Hmm. That's
they
interesting.
Go ahead, Sky.
For
Yeah.
me, they say I am a talkative person. They say Sky's a sweetheart. She is very loving. Sky Sky does not play about her family, which that is also true. Sky doesn't get into no fights unless you mess with her. She's a laid back type person.
Nice. I like that. What about you, Sierra? What did they say about you?
I'm not really sure what they say about me. I think maybe people would say that I'm like authentically myself. Like I feel like I have a very unique personality and I come with that personality to every person I meet. It's pretty stable throughout. So I would say that people would say I'm authentic.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I like
Mhm.
that. I mean, I feel like we should all know what we love about ourselves. We want people to love us. We need to know what we love about ourselves. So I think that's an important part of leaning into higher self-esteem. When you
Mhm.
know who you are, you know what's good about you know what you bring. I think that that will help people perceive you in a different light. Not that we care, but we not that we care. No, I'm not gonna say not that we care. Not that it will change or impact us in any kind of way, what people are thinking, but we do care how we present and we try to present
Yes.
ourselves in a positive way. So
Mhm.
who said it, Laura? So
Laura.
okay, good. So I mean, that's what we have for today on the self-esteem. I hope that each of us have given you some examples of what you can do and what it looks like when you have higher self-esteem. I hope that that's what we presented tonight. I think that we actually cut the show in half. We were going to talk about the lower self-esteem part, but we wanted to just talk about building up self-esteem. So I hope that that's what we did tonight. Did you have any final things you want to say, Sarah, before we start saying Happy Mother's Day? I got a list of people to say Happy Mother's Day to, and I'm going to say it.
No, I think it was a great show. I really enjoyed Sky's perspective. I'm always interested in how the younger generation is operating nowadays, and I thought it was a great show, and I think we should do it again.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, think about something else. So, okay, so I wanted to say Happy Mother's Day from Veronica to Shirley Crawford, who is also my stepmom. So happy Mother's Day, Shirley. We love you. Happy Mother's Day. Sheba wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody on Earth. She wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to her Arizona family, her Mississippi family, her LA family, her Texas family, her Georgia family. and friends, and she's wishing all of you a happy Mother's Day from Sheba. So that's sweet of you, Sheba, right? You got that. I wanted to say happy Mother's Day. I said happy Mother's Day to Laura Leach, right? Happy birthday to Monique Leach, right? I had to throw that in there. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Walker. Happy Mother's Day. She said, Veronica, shout out to Shirley Crawford. Yes, I love her so much. Happy Mother's Day to April Chapman. Happy Mother's Day to Maria Brooks. Happy Mother's Day to Tracy Diggs, right? Sky, you got any other mothers you want to say happy Mother's Day to?
Happy Mother's Day to my great grandmother. Happy Mother's Day to my grandmother. Happy Mother's Day to my Aunt Denise. Happy Mother's Day to my grandma on my mom's side. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day to Toya. I love her. And happy Mother's Day to Najee too.
Yes, happy Mother's Day, Kiki, Kenyana. Gosh, happy Mother's Day. So many mothers out there. Armand, happy Mother's Day to your mother, right? What's her name? Put it in the chat.
There? Yeah.
I'm saying, what's that? Put her in the chat so I can say her name. My city speaks now. I'm just getting here. Oh, shoot. Who's that, Matthews? I'm looking through the chat now.
Ethel Sylvie. That's it.
What's her name?
Ethel.
Yeah. Okay. Happy Mother's Day to Ethel. Oh, still to happy Mother's Day to Ethel Sills from Armand Wallace, your son, right? Happy Mother's Day to Aunt Barbara Hill and Betsy Dobson. Anybody else? Happy Mother's Day to who else? Come on, y'all. Y'all got any more mothers out there? We want to say happy Mother's Day to them. Oh, so sweet. Happy Mother's Day to all the women in my family and friends. Yeah, Tracy. Happy Mother's Day, Tracy. Who else we got on here? Vanessa Singleton. Hey, if you're a mother, happy Mother's Day, Vanessa. Happy Mother's Day, Jean Williams. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to do, okay. Happy Mother's Day, Bertha Winston. Happy Mother's Day, Olivia. Miss Olivia in Kentucky. Happy Mother's Day. Okay, she said that was Happy Mother's Day, Tamika. Happy Mother's Day to Clara Gaskins. Happy Mother's Day. Who else I got? Oh, okay. Hey, Sky Boogie.
Happy Mother's Day to Coretta.
Hey.
Coretta, happy Mother's Day. All these mothers out here. Happy Mother's Day to all of you guys. Obviously we enjoy what we're doing in here. We have a lot of great topics that we're going to be talking about. Next week, I think we're going to be talking about, what are we going to talk about next week? Love languages, maybe. I don't know. But we're going to have a good topic and we'll send it out for you guys. We're so excited that you guys join in with us. Once again, share, like, and subscribe so that we can continue to give good content. We're going to probably bring Sky back another time. We're going to highlight, some of our youth and let them give us their opinion on things. Sky, you did a great job today. Is there anything else you want to say before we close out?
I would say keep your head up, follow God, and let your faith be strong.
Oh, how sweet is that? I love it. That's a 13-year-old, right? So she's on the right track. And I'm excited about what her future holds. And we'll probably bring her back another time. We'll come up with a topic or something that works for her, and we'll bring her back. So just want to say thank you to you all. Happy Mother's Day. You guys, good night. Enjoy your mom. Love up on your mom. And that's a wrap.
Yeah, thank you.